Mike and Melissa is a now defunct internet cartoon web series, which features its creator, Mike Chenoweth, as a self-insert character who ends up tulpamancing a skunk girlfriend with fat knockers. Originally starting off as a web short series from 2011 to 2014, all that's left of the series' existence today is the pilot episode for a longer format series that was created as a community college assignment. Which means yes, what I'm about to show you was presented to a room full of 20-year-olds. For years, the creator of the series, Mike, had an extensive posting history online, where he'd post his art and express himself on platforms such as DeviantArt and YouTube. However, making content like this would make Mike quite the source of mockery, and one day he would randomly go scorched earth on everything he had publicly posted and vanished.
I don't know what it is!
It is
Why
weird.
does Mike and Melissa make you want to watch it over and over?
I'm sad that people went and made fun of him because it meant that he was never going to make anything again.
Despite having many onlookers of his content, none of the rocket scientists trolling him at the time had any foresight to actually archive anything besides the original pilot, making the vast majority of Mike and Melissa content originally produced lost media now. In today's video, I'm going to examine what little content we have left of the series, along with its and its creators' notorious reputation. For an early 2010s webcomic series, Mike and Melissa is pretty well animated, and honestly, at times, the art style can be quite charming, but that charm will disappear as you watch more of it. The pilot starts off with a very healthy dose of cringe. Not anything that would kill you per se, but something that would help boost your immune system, like your 5th COVID booster.
Oh, God. I look like a crazy person. I wonder if this is how I look all the time. Bleh. Ow! Ow!
Here we get introduced to our anime's main protagonist, Mike, talking about how crazy he looks in front of his bathroom mirror while he wears his iconic blue and yellow hat with animal ears, which he's been photographed in several times in real life wearing. Now, it's unclear to me if Mike owned the hat first or he drew the concept of the hat first, but honestly, it's kind of like a chicken and the egg scenario, so it doesn't matter what came first, but more of the fact that it actually exists. On the topic of real-life cursed artifacts in this video, Mike would also be depicted in a shirt that reads, "I am Mike, the hardcore plus awesome," which honestly just seems like a funny stupid shirt that could be worn completely ironically. The issue with this is, if you actually know who the creator is, along with the fact that Mike owned this shirt in real life, I think it's safe to say this was not added as a joke. As the story progresses, we follow Mike through his mundane and boring life, and then we randomly cut to him being at a party, which he definitely got regularly invited to during his college years. At the party, Mike starts to get his drank on, and he drinks more and more, leading to him coming out of his social shell, where he'd strike out with both men and women in social conversations, showing Mike as a real true self. After an incoherent sequence of events where a band plays which upsets Mike and his friends due to them not being metal, Mike and his friends start destroying things because it's quote metal. Then we cut to possibly the most infamous scene in the whole cartoon.
Whatever, I gotta do this. I just need to feel something. It's been so long since I've felt close to anyone else. I just need to find a soulmate. Even if it's...
A purple skunk person?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Mike thought it would be a great idea artistically to animate himself cranking his fucking hog. And just to reiterate, yes, this was shown to his college class. After 15 minutes of hiding in his closet, no offense to Hassan Piker, Mike would eventually come out and interact with Melissa. Now, it's unknown if it was the fact that he had a girl in his room for the first time that scared him, or if it was the fact that she's a purple talking skunk, but I digress. Anyways, in cheesy cartoon fashion, Melissa gives us and Mike an over-explanation on how her character came into existence.
I'm what's known as a puka, a benevolent animal spirit who only appears to the people who require his or her presence. And, if you don't buy that, I'm a construct of your awesomely overactive imagination.
Oh my God, I've got insane!
Don't be like that. Just think of me as an embodiment of that positive voice in your head. Your subconscious wanted to balance your negativity by projecting me into the real world in a form you'd find, well, attractive.
Also, before I continue, I don't know if anyone else would notice this, but maybe it's just me because I edit a lot of videos, but there's a constant humming and buzzing noise in the background of all of the Mike and Melissa clips you're gonna see, which is clearly from the computer fans on Mike's PC, showing that Mike can mix and master audio just about as well as he can animate. Autistic tangent aside, Melissa explains to Mike she appears to really lonely people who need sexual companionship, allowing her to manifest in the form that the person would find the most sexually attractive. Now, I'm not going to rip on Mike for being a furry and being sexually attractive to anthropomorphic animals, but I am going to question what the room would smell like during the act itself, because I can only imagine a skunk person and a dude who barely showers would make the room smell crazy during smex. After playing plumber and laying pipe on Melissa, Mike gets up and informs Melissa that he has to go watch a boring history film for his homework. However, Melissa has other plans for the night for them. After some pressure from Melissa, Mike agrees to go on a night walk after Melissa queef teleports across the room and forces him to go outside. Under the moonlight, we see Mike and Melissa going for a romantic walk, which for whatever reason reminds me of something I just can't quite put my finger on. And on this walk, we get a very important development in the relationship of Mike and Melissa.
Thanks. I sing at a club sometimes. You should swing by.
Where at?
Here.
Oh man, this is gonna take some getting used to. I mean, people don't just make up girlfriends, right?
Aha! You said it! I'm your girlfriend. Look, it's actually very logical if you think about it. There's an empty feeling inside you, so you fill it with an idea. It may not make sense to others who don't see me like you do, but for you, it has meaning beyond tangibility.
After making it official with Mike, Melissa begins to explain that her purpose is to make him happy and to prepare him for an actual relationship. And once she accomplishes her goal and makes him happy, or he finds an actual relationship, she will disappear just like a fairy godparent. Mike hears this, and despite only knowing Melissa for 2 whole minutes, he starts to panic, asking Melissa what happens if he doesn't want her to leave.
Melissa, do you want me to form the Church of the Purple Skunk?
I'm flattered. But that's not what I'm trying to say. Mike, I don't want you to be lonely anymore. And I just thought that if you had me around, maybe that would help you feel a little better about yourself. And when you're ready for the real thing, you'll have the self-esteem to do all sorts of good stuff.
But what if I get too attached to you?
Then you won't need none of that, and I'll have you all to myself.
No, I mean, if I find someone, I couldn't just cast you aside.
Aw, shucks. Don't worry about me. If you find someone, that just means I did my job.
So you're trying to tell me there are no negative outcomes?
Besides becoming a lolcow, no.
So, what do you say? Will you let me stick around for a while?
Why not? I mean, if I'm crazy, I might as well be happy, right?
Could you promise me one thing, though? Promise that no matter what happens, you won't forget about me.
Of course I won't.
Pinky promise?
I mean, I just made this entire episode for you. How could I forget that?
Oh, you! You realize that this is the cheesiest ending ever, don't you?
I don't give a fuck.
Me neither!
And just like that, in a beautiful romantic moment, episode 1 of Mike and Melissa ends on a cliffhanger, leaving Mike's fans on the edge of their seat, waiting for the second installment in the series. Unfortunately for Mike's fans, this second installment would never come. As previously stated, Mike and Melissa wouldn't exactly be well received online, and once it would be discovered by the masses, it would become a constant source of mockery. After about 2 years on the internet, word of Mike and Melissa would spread amongst online forums, where users would mock Mike and his creation. After becoming a source of mockery and constantly being clowned on, unlike other lolcows, Mike would realize enough was enough, and he would delete everything. Although Mike would do the smart thing by scrubbing his presence, the internet never forgets, and a fan of Mike's would re-upload the Mike and Melissa pilot. And due to the mystique around the story, Mike and Melissa would gain even more notoriety and infamy online. In the several years following the re-uploading, several large and notable YouTubers have made references and jabs to Mike and Melissa, most notably being Oni Plays. Over the years, many breadcrumbs have been discovered in the case of Mike and Melissa. We've had former classmate testimonies from those who witnessed the presentation in class. We've had old clips of Mike emerging in projects unrelated to his animations, and we've had new accounts that Mike has made desperately trying not to link his past to his current content. However, these side projects would always wind up getting deleted. There's been several theories online over the years that Mike and Melissa was just an elaborate ruse to mess with the masses. However, given the context with who Mike is and how he reacted to the trolling, I just can't see that. And if that really was the case, he is extremely dedicated to his bit. The tale of Mike and Melissa might not be the most interesting or crazy lolcow story online. However, I do think it's a nice change of pace to watch someone who is heavily mocked online not completely ruin their life and make themselves an eternal laughingstock. Mike wasn't a dumb man. Although he was weird and maybe not the most socially proficient guy on the planet, he knew when to walk away. And honestly, I respect someone who did something embarrassing and didn't let their pride get the best of them. And he knew exactly when to walk away.